What's up everyone, Darcblade here with another episode in my Guide in Destiny series. In this episode I'm going to be talking about one of the most recent hotfixes that came to Destiny, the hotfix for 1.0.2.2. This hotfix went live on October the 14th, 2014. Now this hotfix included a number of changes to weapons and also changed a few other issues with the game. Now this is quite a small hotfix, as Bungie stated that they are working on a larger update which will probably come in the form of a big patch that will address multiple underperforming exotics and the overall class balance. In terms of the general gameplay for Destiny, the first hotfix comes in the form of they fixed a bug where the Valkyrie 05X ship, basically the Collector's Edition ship, was the same as the Aurora Lance. This should no longer be the same now. This should be fixed now and the two ships should appear different. There were two fixes to the classes in Destiny. First to the Titan. The Titan's Unbreakable talent was changed slightly. Basically they fixed an issue where the talent was granted more agility than intended. The second change came to the Warlock class. Basically they fixed an issue with the Brimstone talent. Brimstone can now activate if the player is airborne. A much needed fix. The majority of the changes that came with this hotfix came in the weapons department. A general weapon fix was that they fixed an issue related to the quick weapon swapping. One of the biggest changes that came with this hotfix is to the auto rifles. Basically, the base damage has now decreased by 2% for auto rifles. They reduced the precision damage multiplier from 1.5 to 1.25. This is basically your headshot bonus, meaning that headshots will do a lot less than they did prior to this hotfix. Lastly, they reduced the stability of all assault rifles, decreasing it by 4% to 17% depending on what gun you're using. They made one hotfix to the hand cannons. Basically they increased its in-air accuracy. They made a nice few changes to the scout rifle. The base damage of all scout rifles has been increased by 6%, making them a much more viable weapon. This is for PvP however. In PvE, damage versus alien combatants, it is now increased by 6% to 25%, depending on your level, what difficulty you're tackling and so on. And lastly, with the scout rifles, they improved target acquisition and additional recoil tuning. Overall, this should mean that we should see a lot more scout rifle users out there. Next comes changes to the shotguns. They've decreased the base damage at maximum range by 20%. So this basically means that if you're hitting an opponent at maximum range with the shotgun, it means it's going to do a lot less damage than it did before. Whilst this is good in PvP, it's a disappointment for PvE users, as the shotgun was, shall we say, not the greatest in PvE. Another fix is that the shot package perk now has a slightly wider cone of fire, meaning that you should be able to affect more opponents with this perk. And lastly, the rangefinder and shot package perks are now mutually exclusive. They then made some changes to the exotic weapons in Destiny. The first is with the Vex Mytho class. Basically, they reduced the base damage of this weapon by 34%, quite a substantial nerf. But they did increase the precision damage from 1.25 to 1.50, meaning that the headshots are going to be doing a lot more damage. Whether this makes up for the actual base damage decrease, who knows, as I don't actually have access to this weapon of yet. But I have been reading and watching a lot of people talk about how powerful the Vex Mytho class is, and maybe this nerf is warranted, especially when it comes to PvP, although I can see it as a kick in the teeth for players who have worked hard to get this weapon. The second change to exotic weapons comes to the Pocket Infinity. Basically, the enhanced battery perk has now been replaced with the speed reload perk, meaning that you will no longer be able to have 8 bullets in the chamber. Instead, you'll just get a faster reload. They fixed 2 weapon perks in the game. The metal detector bug has had a fix that prevented this perk from actually providing additional ammo, and the lightweight perk has had a bug fixed that allowed additional agility to be applied even when weapons were stowed away. With changes to the activities in the game, basically the strikes have had a change. They've had a fix where engram rewards from strikes now appear in the post-game activity summary. And lastly, the raid, the Vault of Glass, has had a fix. Basically the Templar encounter, the first proper boss, has had kill volume added to the sniper platforms to prevent players from sitting on top of them. I know on the harder modes, players would abuse the sniper platforms to take down the Templar very easily on hard mode. This might not be the case anymore, but we'll see how players tackle this with the hotfix in place. Also with the Templar encounter, the relic is now removed and respawned if the holder leaves the playable area. These changes to the Vault of Glass raid will make the hard encounter a little bit more difficult than it already is. The last hotfix came in terms of destination, basically on Earth in the rocket yard as you go towards the Devil's Lair strike. Bungie have said that the Fallen have retreated from their hold over this place to discuss new takeover plans. What these takeover plans will be, who knows? Maybe a future event, we'll have to see. Anyway, if you're interested in these notes, I'll leave a link down in the description below. And until next time, I've been Darcblade, bringing you a quick video about the Destiny hotfix 1.0.2.2 as I guide you through Destiny. Hope you enjoyed the video, thanks for watching, subscribe and like for more.